After letting a couple of days of the PlayStation Showcase go by, I let my mind process what I thought of the show, and I find it was very disappointing. But that does go out saying there was some games that caught my attention. So in today's video, we're gonna go over the 8 games that caught my attention at the May 24th PlayStation Showcase. This is your buddy Storm, and welcome to the video. I'm going to go into great details of the 8 games that caught my attention at the PlayStation Showcase, and there's no exact order of this list. We're just going to press on through them, and we're going to start with our very first one. Our first one is Dragon Dogma 2 Remake. Granted, I have never played a Dragon Dogma game, so I don't really know what to truly expect from it. But it got some RPG elements in it and is made by Capcom, which I am a fan of RPGs in general. So I'm willing to give this one a try when it eventually comes out. We don't have the exact release date for the game, but what I can tell from the game and how people talked about it, I think it's gonna be an overall great experience, especially something for me who never played a Dragon Dogma game. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it and check to see if there's any updates in the future about this game release. Next we have Tower Fantasy, which is made by Perfect World Games. It's a JRPG open world adventure game, and I got some little bit of info from the PlayStation blog post. The blog post reads, "In Tower Fantasy, exploration and adventure reign supreme, and we craft a massive open world that is waiting for you to dive in. You can customize your own character and begin your journey as a wanderer in the veteran wastelands of Asperia. But this is just the start. Beyond lies Vera, a radically different world comprised of a sprawling desert, a cyberpunk metropolis, and a breathtaking deep water realm known as the Grand Sea. This will be up to multiple players, and you can have fun with friends. Tower Fantasy combat system equally diverse and real-time action combat that boasts over 30 different weapons to choose from. These weapons define your combat style, and the Circularium weapon system allow you to transform into unique Simularium character that corresponds to your weapon of choice, altering both your appearance and abilities. And you can also join forces with your friends, build guilds together, and take photos, interact, and explore amusement park. This kind of sounds like a JRPG version of DC Universe Online, if anybody remember playing that in the early years of the PlayStation 4. Those had not really much the same, but you had a lot to choose from. Make your own character, exploring different realms of the world. So I'm definitely looking forward to this game when it comes out. It's supposed to come out for PS5, PS4 sometime this summer. So I will keep a lookout and post any update that comes out for this game. Next one is Granblue Fantasy Relink. And this one took me by surprise because I would never expect Granblue Fantasy Relink to appear at a PlayStation Showcase. Because out of all the videos I see them post about Granblue Fantasy Relink, usually side games do with their own little showcase that they have around December. So this is the first time Granblue Fantasy is at a PlayStation Showcase, even though PlayStation have the marketing. But we got a couple new gameplays and two new characters that is coming to the roster for Granblue Fantasy Relink. The two characters we have is Zeta with her weapon Spear Avarice, and then we have Valzarga with his Scythe Gridnoth. Both of these characters are part of the Granblue Fantasy Versus, which Side Game said more characters are coming to the roster. And they said Granblue Fantasy Relink will have a worldwide release in winter 2023, which is this year. And they also says keep your eyes peeled for the summer, where more updates is gonna make an appearance. Hopefully we get a definitive release date, because originally this game was supposed to come out last year, but then got delayed to this year. So hopefully we'll finally get our hands on this game when it finally releases. Next on my list is Helldivers 2. I'm not gonna lie, I have not really played this franchise before, but what I saw from the first Helldivers, it was like a top-down shooter, which is not really my cup of tea personally. But after seeing Helldivers 2, that's going to be a third-person shooter now, I think I could probably get like me and my couple of friends in on this. Cause lately when it comes to game releases, we haven't really gotten like a whole lot of multiplayer that's wowing, or if we do get a multiplayer game, it's just something that one or some of us is not really into and playing. So I think Helldivers could be that game that we all could get into, scavenging different planets, shooting down some aliens, big and small. So I think it would be like a fun time to play with some friends. It's coming out on the PS5 and PC, and its release is sometime this year in 2023. If I had to guess, it's probably going to come out fall 2023 or winter. Because for what the gameplay show, it looks pretty good. Like nothing like lagging or anything like that. So I could probably see this game coming out sooner rather than later. Next is Final Fantasy 16. And what more do I need to say about this game? I'm already sold. I'm already buying it day one. I already got a pre-order, and I have a day off on the day that it official release. So to me personally, I wish it wasn't at the showcase, honestly. I'm not saying the trailer was bad. I'm assuming this is most likely the launch trailer for Final Fantasy 16. But me personally, like, I didn't want to see it again unless it was an announcement when the demo was dropping. If it would have showed that, then I would probably like, alright, that's cool and stuff. But at the same time, I don't need to see any more. Like, of course, I can only speak for myself, but I'm assuming a couple other people is already sold on the game. Like, of course, there are those ones who will try to shit on this game no matter what, but they need to touch grass. That's all I can say to them. But honestly, I don't need to see more unless the demo is announced, which I'm assuming it's probably going to be we're a little bit like 2 weeks and a couple of days from the launch. And they're having some event in LA on June 11th, which me and a lot of people are assuming that's when we'll get the proper announcement for the demo to launch. Because a couple of days ago, people are reporting that a demo for Final Fantasy 16 had been appearing on their PlayStation library. So, yeah, they was able to see there is a demo in their PlayStation library, but you can't really do nothing with it. It's like it's not activated, but you can see it. Like, people have posted pictures of it. So more than likely, a demo is about to come out. They're just waiting for, which I'm assuming is the June 11, because they're having some type of event. They're probably going to show something new, or probably like the final build of the game. So, because I'm assuming the majority of the videos that we've seen of the game have been early builds of it. So we're probably going to see the final build and finally get that demo announcement. Especially if you play the demo, your progress will get carried over to the full game. So, yeah, I can't wait for the game. Just give me the demo and I'll be a happy camper. Now, this game took me by surprise when I saw it at the showcase, because I originally thought, by first look of it, I thought it was going to be a Souls game, but it turned out it wasn't. It's being developed by a Chinese developer a team called S Game, which is the name of their studio, and the name of this game is called Phantom Blade. And you may be wondering, who is S Game? But a little bit of their backstory that they told at the PlayStation blog post, that they are mostly an indie RPG game developers who made a game called Rainblood Town of Death for mobile that was never released outside of China. But their game have accumulated over 20 million fan base. And I bet you're wondering, wait, they made mobile game and they're making a console and PC game for the first time? That could bring up a couple of red flags. I'm gonna stop you right there. Yeah, you might have a point on that, but I want to tell you this. I remember another developer who never made a game before, but they only had experience in animation and movies. And you want to know who that developer was? They're called Emerald Labs. And you know what game they made? They made Kena Bridge of Spirits. You know that hidden gem indie from 2021? Yeah, they made that game. And that game got critically acclaimed. It was even nominated for awards at the Game Awards. So the fact that they never made a game and they made a hit, these guys have experience in game even though they made mobile. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. And so far what they showed from this game, which they said was all in-game and in-engine, I think they're going to knock it out of the park. And of course there are a couple of details that came out for Phantom Blade. It's going to be RPG, made with Unreal Engine 5. It is the spiritual rebirth of the original Rainblood. And they said the game will have Kung Fu Punk, which is basically a Euro main kind of power converted. You find Chinese Kung Fu integrate machines reminiscent of steampunk. So, steampunk with Kung Fu, basically. And the background story for this is in Phantom Blade Zero, your soul, that's this character name that you see right here, is an elite assassin serving as an elusive but powerful organization known as simply as the Order. He was framed for the murder of the Order's patriarch and gravely injured in the manhunt that ensued. A mystic healer managed to save him from death, but a makeshift cure only lasts for 66 days. He must find out the mastermind behind it before his times run out, against powerful foes and inhuman monstrosities. And from Louis Shaw stories to Bruce Lee movies, and Michelle Yeoh and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Donnie Yen and John Wick Chapter 4, Kung Fu Pop Code is concept evolving but always also. The Phantom Blade Zero, we're adding a new twist to the formula, heavy dose of punk spirit alongside style visuals. We call this overall art direction Kung Fu Punk. And some of the gameplay that we are going to have, since this game is not open world, it's a semi-open world. And during a Discord, during an interview that they had, they did say the game will have multiplayer and customization and character customization. So with that in mind, that's already piqued my interest. They said the game is going to be 30 to 40 hours long. It will have multiplayer dungeons, and they refer to it as boss rush modes, no microtransaction, and they're playing safe when it comes to the difficulty and stuff, because of course some people will probably say, they said something about how From Software does their Souls games stuff. I can't remember exact. They said their Souls like elements, but we're not going to full throttle on difficulty and punishment. Approachable is the key here. So the game is gonna be difficult, but it's not gonna be too difficult that somebody cannot get into the game. Most likely, it's just gonna have a difficulty mode by the sound of it. They also say each weapon affects gameplay with unique moves and combos. They also said no microtransaction, which a lot of people are excited about. and they said making the most out of the DualSense, which piqued my interest when they say each weapon will affect gameplay. I'm hoping they do have pole arms as weapons, because let's be honest, when it comes to what my friends say about me, I'm definitely the Donatello in the group, and I take that with stride. But yeah, this is another game I'm looking forward to. Can't wait to hear more about this. There's no exact release date for this game yet, so probably won't be seeing this probably for some time. But yeah, they also did talk about how they managed to convert how the controls from phone to PC and console. But yeah, since they do have some knowledge on how this stuff works, so they're doing a pretty good job. They're gonna be doing a pretty good job at it. I have no doubts about it. And for the style of gameplay, when they said like he referred to as using 90s style kung fu, this is what he means by 90s style kung fu. Yeah, as you saw from that little snippet from the live action Rurouni Kenshin movie and some of the gameplay that we saw from Phantom Blade, you can kind of see where they're going with how the game is going to play, which I'm all about, because 90s style kung fu movies are the bomb. So, can't wait to see more. Hopefully it won't be too long that we hear more, and I'm curious, the next time we see this, they'll show us how will the multiplayer work. So yeah, so far that is this one was the biggest one that got me excited from the PlayStation Showcase. And the last game on my list was Marvel Spider-Man 2, which I honestly was not surprised that it was going to be at this showcase. But what truly surprised me is what was shown off. Let's take a crack at what was shown. First, we got shown off some random guy in a jungle looking like he's hunting. Apparently, it is a hunter that Kraven troops have recruited to see if he can give Kraven a challenge that he so desperately wants. But unfortunately, when the man did not live up to Kraven's expectations, Kraven told him, you need to exit out this life. Because how can somebody as big as Kraven the Hunter, you did not notice he was following you? And Insomniac Game did an amazing job on Kraven the Hunter design. He looks menacing, comically accurate, and he's looked like to be a force to be reckoned with. Because to my knowledge, he never been like well, granted, we don't know who's going to be the main focus villain for this game, but for Kraven the Hunter, I don't think we ever saw like a main focus of Kraven the Hunter as the main villain for a Spider-Man game. But after when he took that man's soul, one of his troops told him, how about we try a new hunting ground? And that's when he saw what his troop showed him, the concrete jungle of Manhattan. There we saw Black Cat, Prowler, Wraith, Tombstone, Peter and Miles, Lizard, Taskmaster, Kingpin, Shocker, and a couple other villains that was holed off in the raft. That's including Vulture, Electro, Dr. Octopus, Scorpion, Rhino. But funny enough, we didn't see Martin Lee, so I'm curious about that one. After when he saw the amount of prey that he could go after, he decided, start the fire, we're gonna go hunting. The great hunt begins. So he is coming for that smoke for everybody. Hero, villains, it does not matter. Then we cut to black. The next part of the game, it opens up in Queens, which is one of the boroughs in New York that we'll be able to explore thanks to Insomniac Games clarifying that. They said Queens and Brooklyn is some of the places that we get to explore. It's unknown if they would add the other boroughs of New York, but so far they said this map is going to be roughly twice as big as the first game from Marvel Spider-Man PS4. So by them adding Queens and Brooklyn, they are on that. Alright, then we got Kraven Truce coming to Dr. Connors' house to hunt for him. But then we see Peter breaking out of the basement with this symbiote. And good God, that black suit. And here's another. I don't get why people say this suit looks bad. It's always something. You can never please anybody with kind of certain thing. Me personally, the suit looks pretty cool. It kind of fits the style of this 1604 universe of Insomniac Spider-Man. Because you don't really realize most of the villains and Peter and Miles, they're all wearing armor-based outfits like Electro, Shocker, Scorpion, freaking Rhino. So some people say like the symbiote suit have like shoulder pads and all that and stuff. Me personally, I think it's evolving because you look closely at it. It looks like the symbiote is taking on the form of muscle tissue. It's like you see the muscle, then the skin forms over it. So I truly believe that this suit is going to evolve as the game progresses. And of course, some people believe that Peter is going to become Venom, or Harry become Venom. And as you can see, we got some new stuff, new abilities with the symbiote. Peter and Miles have web wings now. And Insomniac have clarified, said that you could switch between Peter and Miles and free roam when you're like freely roaming the city and stuff. But of course, when it comes to the main story, you basically, they decide when you switch characters. But if you just web sitting around the city not doing nothing, yeah, you can freely switch between Peter and Miles on the go. And of course, we got some new gadgets. You can make a web line so you could properly place yourself to do silent takedowns on enemies, which is all good and stuff. The gameplay they showed off is basically Kraven men are hunting for the lizard. Peter Miles is after Dr. Connors because apparently, if you have not played Spider-Man PS4 or Miles Morales, no, I'm just gonna say it. The game's been out for a while. If you want to play, you could have played it. Basically, Harry is suffering from an illness that took his mother. So Dr. Osborn had put Harry in the stasis pod with the help of Dr. Connors about a symbiote help him keep him alive. But of course, we don't know when this gameplay takes place in the story. But the symbiote that was supposed to keep Harry alive, somehow Peter has it. So now it's a race against time to retrieve Dr. Connors so he can help treat Harry before he dies. And also, Insomniac also clarified this is an early build of the game, so it's not the final version. Of course, because I saw some people saying like, this doesn't look next gen, this, that, and the third. I swear, I don't know what's going on with people. I don't know if people just got burned on some games, which I could totally understand if that's the case, but the fact people are trying to tell Insomniac they need to delay this game and stuff, I'm like, we don't have the release date for the game yet. It's coming out in the fall. We're now entering in summer. Like, let them cook. Apparently, they've been working on Marvel Spider-Man 2 when Spider-Man PS4 launched in 2018, which is understandable. So, like, let them get this stuff done. And of course, some people say, why did they show off this early build when the game is supposed to come out in the fall? Because the thing is, when it comes to the game development, I saw like a developer explain this. Basically, how it works is you basically use up time to make a small segment to show off at a event. During that time, you're still making progress through the game. So it's not like they gonna have like a newest build of the game and have it ready in time to show off at the showcase. They already had the build already set up, which is an old build. Granted, we don't know how old is this build, but from what I could see, it's a pretty good old build. It could use some polishing here and there, because when Miles did did a slingshot move to get around the city faster, there was some pop-ins on trees and stuff. But overall, the game looks pretty good. Black Suit Spider-Man is gonna be fun to play as, with the beatdowns he could give on certain villains and stuff. So let Insomniac cook, people. Alright, I got a little bit sidetracked. But as you can see, Peter and Miles is chasing down Dr. Connor, who is growing, which I saw some people say, like, bro, that's not a lizard, that's a full-on dinosaur at this point. Which is, yeah, understandable. Because, of course, when a lizard sheds its skin, it's getting bigger. And Dr. Connor's case, he is bigger than, I'm assuming, what he originally was when Peter first fought him as the lizard. And he's a lot more faster. As you can clearly see, he is outrunning this Chopper and Peter. But we don't know when this game, what part of the story this game is. We don't know how long Peter had this symbiote, and I personally can't wait to play it. Supposedly the voice actor for Peter, Yuri Onto, and the voice actor for MJ is supposed to be at some event during Summer Game Fest, which I think they're presenting or they're hosting something. So it could be a possible we could see some new stuff for Marvel Spider-Man 2 and properly the official release date, because as Sony said, they're still on track to launch in the fall. I do not know what more else they need to do, but the biggest thing I give out hope for the release date is when Yorianto was tweeting about the event that him and the voice actor for Mary Jane is doing. He was using quotes, Spider-Man quotes, like make sure you swing on in and all that jazz. He was also at the red carpet event for Across the Spider-Verse movie that just came out. I'm still waiting to see that movie. Somebody from IGN asked him about Marvel Spider-Man 2, saying that that gameplay that they showed during the showcase, some people say you guys probably show a little too much. I don't know how could they show so much. They showed a segment from a gameplay where you're chasing down Lizard. I actually want to see how do the fight looks with Lizard. So, but anyway, Yuri Onto said, like, from that showcase, we have not seen nothing yet. We only saw, like, I believe we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg. So, I can't wait to see what more they have to show off. I'm really looking forward to the story. It's something I said, like, there will be three skill trees for the characters, one for Peter, one for Miles, and one that they will share. So I'm curious how will that look, and can't wait to see the final showdown with Venom, which a lot of people are saying that Peter and Miles are going to fight once the suit fully consumes Peter, which I totally believe too, because let's be honest, that suit gonna need to come off, and I think Miles' Venom Blast will do the trick. So until we get a proper release date, I'm gonna wait patiently and let Insomniac cook when the game fully comes out. And those are the games that caught my attention at the PlayStation Showcase that happened in May. Could the showcase could have been better? A lot better. But as long as I came out of it seeing some games that really piqued my interest, and I can't wait to play. To wrap up this video, I'm going to show off some new screenshots that Insomniac posted for Marvel Spider-Man 2. So, until the next video, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you guys next time.